my bank, and my bank always bust. Yeah, my bank will bust, and you mad for what? Probably cause you ain't get stuffed. Hush K, they hate what I make, but they fake, so I look the other way.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Tending Bike Show. And today, I'm once again joined by a very special guest. Why don't you introduce yourself?
What's up, everybody? It's Norman Swag in the motherfucking interview. I'm here with Tending Bike.
Yes, sir, Norman Swag. Let's fucking go. So, we're gonna get into we're gonna start off in the history now of Norman Swag. Now, I believe you haven't been making music for that long compared to most people in Flex.
Well, actually, compared when it comes to Norman Swag, definitely not. But in reality, I have been making music since I think around 2019, 2020, as Dr. Classified. But
You want to get
the,
into some
the
Doctor
idea,
Classified stuff then?
I mean, sure, I'm down. So
All
yeah,
right. So you were saying?
yeah, Dr. Classified came from when yeah, the name itself was just I just needed a different username for Discord at the time because my old one was the Rapid Man 101, and I just felt the need to change it because it was super cringy. And I was just like, what sounds interesting? How about Dr. Classified? And then when I started like when I started practicing with beat making and such, I eventually discovered, hey, this is fun. I should make music. And I just decided to bring the username into my music. So I am Dr. Classified, the rapper.
Yeah, so what have you released under Doctor Classified? We probably won't get into all that in good detail, but you
Yeah.
just run through Doctor Classified really quick, and then we'll get into Norman Swag.
All right. So right now, I don't really have a lot of songs out as Dr. Classified. I have 3 singles for my upcoming album, all for show. Those being "Kill Your Persona," "Stunt," which will have an extended version on the album, and "Test Me." And then the non-album single, "I Don't Fuck With You," which actually features a Flex artist, Monto.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so then we'll get into the beginnings of Norman Swag. Now, well, I believe you found Flex through obviously Brad Taste Music, like most people. I believe from his Volume 2
Yeah.
reaction.
Yeah. It was either late or mid 2022 when I first discovered Flex. I was really into Brad at the time, and eventually I started like looking at his older content, and I saw the reacting to the album I appeared on, which was the Flex Gang Volume 2 reaction. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this album? Who are these people? And so I looked even more into the rabbit hole, and I found people like you, like Mosquito, Lambo, guys like that. And eventually it just came down to, yeah, I kind of want to make joke shit like that too, but I don't want to do it as Dr. Classified because Dr. Classified is, despite maybe the name being a little weird, my Dr. Classified music is very serious. So I'm just thinking, what if I made another persona where I can just do whatever the fuck I want? So I pretty much ripped off a stage name from an artist on Strange Music by the name of Joey Cool, and I'm just like, what if I just call myself Norman Swag?
Norman Swag, where'd the Norman come from?
My real name starts with an N, so I just thought, why not Norman? It sounds stupid enough to work.
So your name actually isn't Norman, but it does start with an N.
No, so I have no problem with revealing this. My real name is Nick, and yeah, Norman is not my real name. I have said that to people, and some people were genuinely shocked to find that out.
Yeah. So, we then what I'm trying to think. What was the first? Actually, have you released anything under Norman Swag? Well, actually, you have. Yeah, you have
Yeah,
one mixtape, but we'll get to that.
one mixtape and a couple of singles.
So you got chosen to sign to Flex, I remember it was through it was after the Flex Got Talent video. If I think that's what it was.
Yeah, yeah. So the story behind that, all of that, was fun. Is a funny story. So obviously, I featured on Brian is Dead as well. So yeah, that pretty much happened when I was in a call like one day randomly. I remember vividly. It was the listening party for the Royal Flush song "Your Son Is Here Comes Your Son," and it eventually just spiraled into Mosquito making a beat, and then somebody just randomly calling out, "Hey, what if we took that and made it a song about Brian dying, us feeling bad about it?" And that song happened. It came out, and I ended up getting a getting the homie role from that. And then Flex Got Talent came around, and I'm just like, hey, I might have a chance at this. So I submitted a then unreleased song called "Oh God," and shocking, com- completely shockingly, it was received very well and got a unanimous yes. And yeah, that's how I got signed.
Nice. Then we get a few singles. I guess we get some Raw Thoughts 8. We get some Smoking on That Zaza with Lil fucking bitch, who might be the next guest.
Oh hell yeah.
But we get your first mixtape released March this year.
Yep.
Anarchy. Now, what was the
Yeah.
what was the whole creative process behind making this Anarchy mixtape?
So Anarchy is very interesting because this is my first ever full project released as Norman Swag. Um, Essentially how it was I wanted something that could show off what I could do as Norman. So I was just like, I'm gonna throw around just a couple of songs, and then like a couple of titles, and then make songs out of those. And then, because that's how I usually work, I like to come up with song titles and then base ideas around them. And essentially, it took over the course of an entire year to finish it because of stuff like procrastination, not being able to come up with certain ideas, waiting for the right features to pop up. Um, and eventually, once I ended up getting signed, I was like, oh shit, I still need to finish Anarchy. I have all of these song ideas that I still need to bring out. And I eventually did make those songs actually pretty quickly. Um, and actually, fun fact, Anarchy was supposed to be 15 tracks long. There was going to be a
Hmm.
song on it called Comedy, but I just could not think of anything for it. Like, nothing came out good, nothing came out funny. So I just scrapped it and made it 14 tracks. Um, and eventually, once I did get signed, I did find the right features for certain songs. And I'm just like, yeah, it's ready, drop it. I didn't think much of it at the time.
All right. But then next, we got you were a part of this newest thing, Top Hats the Gangsta Mixtape 2, which as of recording this has released today.
Yep. So how that came about, um, we were Top Hat, Cheese Daddy, and I think we're all on a call together. I think Top Hat mentioned something about his gangsta mixtape, and we were no, actually, what happened was we decided to make a collab project, and we were just like, what if we just throw around a bunch of different like songs and like work together? And Top Hat came up with the idea of making it the Gangsta Mixtape 2. Um, and essentially what happened was they just got a bunch of different artists after that, like Twisted, like Royal Flush, like Cough Drop. Um, and how I handled a good majority of my songs is I pretty much pulled a Dion where I just came up with really stupid ideas for like song titles, and I just picked out certain ones and made them into like basically freestyle tracks, which some turned out better than I expected. Some turned out a little worse,
Mm.
but I'm decently happy with the stuff that came out, especially like Jenkins slash TDD, though mainly TDD, and you know it didn't get it wasn't very well received when it came out, but I liked I Scam My Grandma of 82 Years of Age. That was really fun to make.
Nice. But I'll get into this some extra stuff. So we were talking about that Doctor Classified earlier. So you got Doctor Classified album coming. Apparently, you got some cool features. Mosquito,
Yeah,
Twisted, Monto.
yeah. Not Monto.
Monto's on the Norman album.
No, Monto is on a non-album single for Doctor
Oh
Classified.
yeah, you said that.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I pretty much. So how those features came about? If I'm okay to talk about it,
Yeah.
how those features came about was, I was so the song that Mosquito's gonna be on is called STFU or Shut the Fuck Up, whatever. Um, Originally that was just a instrumental I had on my phone. I made a band lab that was it was just an arrogant banger song instrumental, and eventually I did want to turn it into an actual song, but I just thought, who the fuck would I get for this? And at the time, Diagnosis had just released, and I was really impressed with how Mosquito was able to make something so unironically really good. And eventually, that I asked him if like, hey, do you want to come on to this song and just do your fucking like wild shit that you did on Diagnosis? And he goes, I'm, and he approved. He said yes, and I got his feature a couple months later, and I think he delivered.
Oh yeah.
How Twisted ended up on the song Another. I was just asking around for like anyone who could sing on a chorus because I tried asking somebody, but they politely declined.
I
And
was gonna
Twisted was
say I
just
thought
like,
it'd be Mr. Ice, but he just doesn't deliver as
"Oh, I
from what I'm hearing.
I didn't know Mr. Ice that well at the time, so I didn't think about him. Plus, he didn't reply to me. Yeah, essentially, Twisted saw my message asking for features for like a singing chorus. He goes, "Yeah, I'll do it." I'm like, "Are you sure?" It's a more serious song. He goes, "Yeah, I don't care." And yeah, he sent his chorus over, and I think it's delivered pretty well, in my opinion.
Nice. So now I want to ask. That's the last thing I want to ask. What can we expect from Norman Swag next?
Oh man, well, this year has been pretty good for Norman Swag overall, especially in the future.
Oh,
So
I
obviously,
just
can't keep the
realized something. I don't
yeah.
know how much I'm gonna crop this out, but as you can see, I have sent vocals to Norman Swag as of
Oh
2 days ago. It's okay. We won't touch on that. It's fine. It's fine. I don't think it's a big deal.
No, it's cool.
Anyways, yeah, continue.
Yeah, so this year has been pretty good for Norman Swag lately. What's gonna happen in the future? Well, for starters, I'm gonna be featured on Twisted's album,
Me too.
Christian Dubstep Room. Yeah, I'm featured on the song Rare Designer Clothes, also with Royal Flush, and this is big for me. Big Baller B is gonna be on the song as well.
Oh,
So
also, yeah, I was looking at Wiki.
yeah,
Said the like the biggest collab you wanted was Brad, Big Baller B himself,
yeah,
and you
I
got
would
it.
love
You got
for
the
him to be.
chance, thanks to
Well,
Twisted.
yeah, I do hope I can get Brad on one of my songs, but to be on a song with Brad is still really fucking cool.
Yeah, I
I
was
hope
on a
he.
song with Brad. Yeah, it was Menace 4.
Yeah, Menace 4. I remember that actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I'm also just excited for the album in general because I've heard Game On. I really enjoyed it. And yeah, currently right now, I'm also working on a Norman Swag debut album called Cool with three
Cool.
exclamation points at the end. Yeah.
Cool.
Fun fact. Yeah. Fun fact, it was initially going to be called Norman Swag's Cool album, but when I was talking to Cheese Daddy about it, he was like, "Wait, so you're going from a mixtape called Anarchy, and for your debut album, it's called Norman Swag's Cool Album." And I sat on that comment, and I was like, "Yeah, you know what? You're right. I'm just gonna call it Cool."
Yeah.
And that's how that's how the name came about. And yeah, I definitely plan for it to have a lot more quality control overall. It's gonna have less dumb. It's gonna have a lot less filler bullshit that I will admit showed up a lot on Anarchy. I'm gonna have more features on it, including you.
Hell
Um,
yes.
but yeah, I heard your verse. I added it on. I'm happy with it, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
really
of
liked
course.
I really liked the song.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm happy with it. Um, yeah, it's gonna have more features, a lot more production value, and I'm just excited to finish it. I've already got 8 songs done for it, so I'm excited for people to listen to it when it drops, especially certain songs.
Yes.
Yeah,
All right, I think that concludes today's episode of the Tenny Bike Show. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Norman Swag for showing up. And remember,
pleasure.
check out his stuff and like and subscribe to watch more of this, and stream Ontario Trap Stars, and stream my new song P Drizzy, produced by Metro Boomin. PBL Drizzy. And
Yeah.
Norman, anything you want to say before we go?
Uh, yeah. Stay tuned because Norman Swag is not going anywhere.
Hell yeah, he's here to stay. Anyways, peace out, everyone.